Hello, I'm Jeremy Maggs, and I'm in conversation today with Dermot Latimer, who's the Chief Executive Officer of Point Group. We're going to look at fundamental marketing challenges in this exciting and uncertain paradigm. But before we get there, Dermot, a very warm welcome. Tell me first about the business itself.
We are what's referred to as a print management consultancy business. That's our heritage. That's where we started 17 years ago. What we do is procurement-led. We drive efficiencies in the print procurement and manufacturing distribution for companies like Unilever, Procter & Gamble, Coca-Cola, and Nestle across South Africa and the Middle East. And we've been on quite a transformative journey over the past 5 years. Obviously, the investment into print and in-store collateral with the rise of digital channels.
That whole paradigm is shifting, isn't it?
Completely, absolutely, completely. And we recognized it, I think, 5 years ago. I came into the business 4 years ago, and I've been driving a lot of the cultural change, the expertise, the capabilities that we have and can offer our customers within our business. And we are 13 offices across Africa, the Middle East. We service 25 countries. We trade in 23 different currencies. And we've got big ambitions for growth.
So let's not kill print just yet. It still has an important role to play, doesn't it?
As there will always be brick and mortar stores, there will always be a need and a place for print. But I do think that it's evolving, and the thinking around how we communicate to consumers and how we, intersect that moment of decision with consumers is evolving rapidly. We've seen massive change in our business, in our markets, with our customers over the past 3 years. COVID has driven a paradigm shift and a fundamental need to consider different channels and different tactical points. We all grew up with the marketing funnel and the sales funnel. It's no longer linear. It is now multiple channels, multiple touch points, driving the same omni-channel brand message.
All in real time.
All in real time. And, I remember having a conversation shortly after going into lockdown with a brand director in Africa who said, I had a beautiful digital transformation program. It was 3 years. It was a thing of beauty.
Those good old days,
He's like, we need to do it in 6 months.
Yeah.
We don't have 3 years anymore. That shift, it's incredible, absolutely incredible.
So you interact a lot with the marketing fraternity. Our discussion is predicated on the marketing challenges that they're facing. But how much pain are they going through at the moment?
There are multiple pain points that marketing professionals and everything from a marketing executive through to CMOs of global businesses. I remember in 2020, I coined a phrase called the zone of uncertainty. If you looked at the reality we were sitting in,
that's not the novel you're writing, is it?
It might be a book one day. It might be a book, The Twilight Zone of Marketing. But if you look at what actually happened within the marketing and within business, forget marketing, right? So within business, I remember saying to my team in August 2020, right, guys, everybody needs to relax because nobody has navigated something like this before. Nobody has the answers, right? This is a very, very, very difficult thing for any business to navigate. We went through it here. It was extraordinary. Our revenue dropped in 30 days by 92%. It was horrific, right? And nobody had the answers. When you bring it to marketing, it then became a case of, stores were closed, lockdown was a real thing. And I kind of sketched on one of the whiteboards with our guys kind of an X and Y axis, and on the one side was channel efficiency, and on the bottom axis was time, right? And I went from the 50s to 60s to 70s to 80s. And if you look at channel efficiency, and you look at TV, you look at radio, you look at print, they all, in and around the kind of 90s, went into a fairly significant decline. The onset of Netflix, the onset of YouTube consumption, Gen Z and how they interacted with brands and consumed their entertainment news. There is a real decline in effectivity of these channels. And equally in the 90s, you see this rise of digital. There was an intersection point in 2020, thanks to COVID-19, that nobody really knew what the right thing to do was. So now what? We at the time started talking to a liquor retailer here in South Africa called Ultra Liquors. Phenomenal business, absolutely phenomenal business. 120 retail stores plus or minus. They didn't have a digital presence. in 2020. They quickly cobbled one together, and I think the realization came, now what? We need guidance, we need to understand what's happening, we need to understand what we can do about it. And we were in a very fortunate position that, working with the customers that we worked with, the FMCGs, the retailers that we worked with across 13 different geographies, we had the data. We could see, and bringing in proprietary data, and we'll talk about it a little later, around mobility data and understanding the move of people. We were able to quickly understand that the catchment area of a retail store in South Africa shrank by 73%. Okay, so dwell time in store was longer, but people were prepared to travel less. We engaged with the ultra liquors business, and we saw that a phenomenal business today, but they were going to be in some serious trouble in 5 years' time. And their managing director, Sean Robinson, is nothing short of a visionary in terms of what he recognized in terms of the support he needed for his business. We spent months in the business understanding it. We went into trade. We met, all the leadership team. It became very, very apparent to us that a digital transformation job needed to be done within the business. It required an investment, and it was one they didn't have. I mean, liquor, you'll remember, was hit significantly hard through lockdown. Sean and the Robinson family continued to support their employees. They didn't, lay anybody off. They continued to pay everybody, though their stores weren't open. So they obviously didn't have the cash reserves to invest in a digital transformation program, given the trading environment that they found themselves in. What we were very, very fortunate to do is we've got this buying engine within Point, so we were able to take their broadsheet print, we were able to optimize it, and we were able to save them 23-24% per annum on that, which allowed them then to free up that cash to invest in the digital transformation process. We've designed and with some partners developed a best-in-class e-commerce system for them over the past 2 years. We've unified their data lakes, we've mobilized their loyalty program, we've built tactical digital communication strategies for existing customers, loyalty customers within the CRM base. We've monetized the real estate on their new platforms. And I think the big accolade is, very soon you'll see Ultra Liquor's marketing budget move from a cost center into a profit center.
So I want to talk now about internal philosophy and specifically what you did to facilitate change, to make it happen.
Yeah, and it was a radical move. I mean, again, we were very much a procurement-based business who now wanted to talk about marketing strategy. Now, as you well know, you will never see the CPO and the CMO sitting in the canteen having a coffee together, right? I mean, the tension between those 2 points historically has always been real.
They tend to like different buildings if they can.
Correct,
yeah.
Absolutely. So, for us, we were feeling the pain ourselves. We were getting huge feedback in real time from our customers across all markets, and the feedback was the same. As I said, the zone of uncertainty. Now what do we do? We had a bigger job to do ourselves, because we had at that point, we had our core business being Point in the procurement, and we had built a business that I'd started, which was a strategic digital and creative agency. And again, we had the same tension within our own business. So we had, the Point team and the Iconic team, and neither the two shall meet, right? So it was very much...
So how did you coalesce them?
It started at the top for me. So we firstly brought some change management consultants in. We started to work on the executive team and its culture, and defining our purpose and defining our vision and defining our values. So what are the values we are going to live by as an organization, and how do we articulate the end-to-end opportunity and solution that we have? If you think it through, where procurement and marketing meet is actually where the magic happens. And again, in our business, we refer to it as E squared, right? Where efficiency and effectivity collide. In a post-COVID world, what CMO, CEO, CFO would not want to have a conversation with somebody who said, we can help your organization drive cost efficiencies, right, without compromising the quality, and we can increase the effectivity of your assets to drive revenue.
And that's entirely underpinned by the data argument.
100%.
So if I'm hearing you correctly, you needed to rethink your entire approach to data optimization.
So again, it started culturally. So we decided that we were going to become a technology and a data-led, technology-enabled, insights-driven organization. So everything starts at data.
Quite a mouthful, that, eh?
It is a mouthful. It's taken me 2 years to have it roll off the tongue like that. But no, it's been a real voyage for us. And again, data in and of itself is fairly useless, right? It's actually the insights you drive from it. And insights in and of themselves, poorly executed or poorly applied, doesn't have any impact in an organization. So it comes back to, again, a drive in our culture of becoming customer obsessed, right? So customer obsession and customer centricity are two very, very different things. Customer centricity succeeds as often as it fails, right? Where you put the customer at the heart, very often you can become in a master-slave relationship. So everything the customer wants, you do, irrespective of whether it's the right thing for the business or not, right? And that's dangerous. Customer obsession is actually understanding the job to be done that the customer needs. What does success look like for them, their brand, their organization? And how do we become so obsessed with their success that we actually start to solve problems they don't yet know they have, right? So it was a massive cultural shift. We invested heavily in technology. We invested, again, not because we wanted to be a technologically enabled organization. These were real pain points for our customers. What is it? Adding some AI considerations in, adding, a seamless, low-touch, end-to-end process where ordinarily there would be 5 to 8 to 9 humans involved there. Building out a strategic team, understanding, retail strategy, FMCG strategy, B2B strategy. How do we build that muscle? How do we leverage the need within our customer base to actually support them and drive success? It's been a phenomenal journey from a data perspective. We've embraced data streams. We've embraced data sets. We've explored unconventional data set.
That's all well and good in terms of the data side of the equation. But fundamental to your success has also been, I understand, leveraging strategic partnership.
It comes, again, and I sound like a broken record in this, and my team will tell you I am. It comes down to the customer obsession. Okay, what is the job to be done for our customer? And who are the partners we can find that can innovate, that can drive solutions to solve that pain and to do that job? We were the first pioneers to partner with, I refer to mobility data. What mobility data allows us to do is track individuals in real time. It's anonymous, it's POPIA compliant, GDPR compliant. And again, that data in and of itself is great. Everybody who buys a cell phone has a weather app in it, right? That app asks you for location services. You say yes, your phone's being tracked. And it's accurate within 3 feet. Tracking, and there's something like 18 billion data points per day or per hour in mobility data. Using then some cross-analysis and enriching that data with demographic data, with bureau data, we're actually able to build a profile of the individual who uses that phone, right? So from a race, where they live, where they work, where they dwell, income level, consumption data is incredibly powerful. All of these individually can tell a story, but when you bring them together and you get the full picture, the Food Lovers Market is a great example in South Africa. Travis Coppen, who's the retail CEO, is visionary in terms of what he's trying to achieve for his organization and expansion. But that expansion comes at great risk for the business, because every single store that they look to open, a new store, new location, it has a significant capital expenditure investment, a significant 10-year return on investment cycle. So it was really, really important for them to understand that each location was correct, as fit for purpose and as correct as it can be before taking that opportunity.
So Dermot, you've given us a very good idea of where you came from, what you're doing, but let's look at the future. Where are you going? What's the direction that you're heading in?
So we've set a really ambitious growth plan for ourselves. Our 5-year trajectory will see us double our turnover from $100 million to $200 million. We'll see us open 10 new geographies in the next 5 years. We'll open Turkey as our next geography in the next 2 months. And we are going wherever our customer needs us to be. And we will be obsessed with those customers, and we will drive their success, because we cannot have success if our customers don't, if we can't drive success for our customers. Can't be done. I'm excited for our future, and I'm excited for the journey ahead.
What was the novel you and I were going to write? The Zone of?
The Zone of Uncertainty.
The zone. I think we're going into the zone of certainty now. Okay. Dermot, thank you very much.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.